Hello, everybody, and welcome to your summer Prison Architect update.
Update
I'm Mark.
40.
I'm the producer of Prison Architect. I produce it, and my pal here, my buddy,
Hello.
my amigo. What do you do, mate?
I make the game. What do you do?
You're the maker. You're the
Yeah.
maker of Prison Architect, are you?
I'm the designer and the maker of the game. So
Maker of the
what
game.
does a producer do? Enlighten me.
I make update videos.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
I do that. I think about GPDR. You know.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
haven't thought about GPDR, have you?
No,
You haven't.
that's true,
How
actually. No,
many
it's-
sleepless nights have you had over GPDR, mate?
Yeah.
That's all I've been thinking about.
I'm glad I have a producer to take that headache away.
So our privacy policy's changed, everybody.
Right.
Take a look now at
Is that-
introversion.co.uk/legal.
That sounds fascinating. So you live in a hellish world of legal tedium. That's what you're basically saying.
GPDR, man. Jesus Christ. Anyway. Right, so enough about that.
Yeah.
It's the summer update. It's a summer update of Prison Architect. Very
Yeah.
exciting. It's been a long time.
Update
Been a long time.
14?
We just checked. 13 was out in December, wasn't it? Just before Christmas.
Yeah.
And now we're out just before something else or during something else. I wonder what could possibly motivate us to release updates at these times of year.
Oh,
Any
you're
ideas?
such a cynic. You're such a cynic.
That's another thing a producer does.
You're suggesting that we connect our Prison Architect updates with Valve Steam sales. How is that what you're saying?
I am suggesting that, mate. You know, I know it's taken you a long time to figure out that's what I've been doing, but again, that's a producer's role.
Yeah,
You know,
you've got home and you've let the devil win. You've let cynicism creep in, and now you can't see the light in the world anymore. You know, how do you even get out of bed in the morning?
I'm not a hater of money like you. You're like an Indian guru who rejects physical wealth.
Yeah. I'm sat here on my mountaintop with my in the kneeling position.
With your massive beard down to your knees.
Yeah, and my MacBook Pro and my 100 megabit internet connection is out in front of
Yeah.
me. Purity, man, and it's spiritual purity.
Yes, spiritual.
That's what I'm talking about. You know.
Spiritual purity. Right. So, right. What are we looking at? I'm
We're looking
excited.
at
I've not
update
seen
14, aren't we? In fact, we've got this little
Update
Check this
14.
out, man. Climbing the walls.
I know. Now that, everybody, was not produced by Introversion because we don't do art. We can't do art other than Ryan, who does brilliant art in game, not that kind of stuff. That was done by Double 11, who are the guys behind the console version of Prison Architect. So that's Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, and they are working on updates for that version, which is separate from the PC version. But this is just some brilliant artwork that they did for us.
It's really
Look at
good,
that,
isn't it?
Cool?
There are some hints in this picture about what this update might be themed around.
Yes. Is it around donut eating?
Donuts.
Have we introduced donuts?
No, there aren't donuts in the game. That's actually really misleading. I think I can see a lawsuit coming on, right? Because
This is the donuts and moustaches update. All guards now have enormous moustaches.
and hand torches. So
Yeah.
and ropes aren't in the game. This is just profoundly misleading. This picture. Honestly, what are we going to do? It's great though, isn't it? I love it.
It is really good. It's
All
really
right.
good.
Should we have a look in the game then?
Let's look in the game.
So the update is called Climbing the Walls. So we decided that we would explore the idea of prisoner escapes a little bit more. This is not escape mode. This isn't the player escape mode. This is your own prisoners escaping your prison.
Don't get confused. Nothing to do with escape mode. We haven't touched escape mode. This is just prisoners escaping normal architect mode. Do we call it architect mode?
I don't know, just normal mode.
Okay.
You know,
Normal mode.
normal game mode. Yeah. So here's a prison. It's a nice prison. And this is so I'm going to show you a series of scenarios, right? This is the worst case scenario, right? Because what you've got here is you've got a yard here, and we've got one exterior fence and
A
nothing.
donut eating guard wandering around.
We've got a donut eating guard, right?
He's tired because he's eating too many donuts. Needs to go down the gym more, mate. Sugar, that's the killer.
So let's see, this exciting time. So this is I've spiked this prison, right? This prison is spiked. Right,
Okay.
for demonstration purposes. There's all kinds of bad shit in this prison that you would never want, right? But I'm going to start with the worst case scenario, right? So this area is basically insecure because of this exterior fence.
Look at him. He's got his little baton out.
Some of your prisoners, not all, but some, can climb fences, right?
Hey, look at him.
He had a crack, right?
He got hurt though, didn't he?
He did get hurt. So that guard did a good. Okay, the guard's been knocked unconscious now, so that's.
That guard like ripped him down from the top of the wall. They're all doing it.
Yeah. Right, so some of your prisoners, not all. Oh fucking hell! Look at that, Jesus! It's a mass escape attempt.
They're all doing it. They're all doing it.
All right, so I know what's happened here, right?
Oh, that's brilliant! You've not just done it. You have spiked this prison. You've turned this up to 11, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, what's actually happened is they've leapt through to part two of my demonstration.
Right.
Which is escape ropes, right? So you see this here, right? See right here, right? This orange thing, right? That is a climbing rope made out of.
Okay.
They're still going for it. That is a climbing rope made out of prisoner uniforms.
Brilliant.
All right.
That is brilliant. Stolen from the laundry, no doubt.
Stolen from the laundry, right? So here's our laundry, right? So you can't see them doing it at the moment because half of them have escaped. But they, if you ever watch closely, sometimes you'll see a bunch of uniforms suddenly go missing.
Right.
You see a whole bunch of prisoners because they need 5 uniforms to craft a rope that's big enough.
Okay.
So to put in perspective how that obviously is an extreme escape event.
That was pretty nuts.
And the reason for that is because let's just reload. Let's step back to a little bit earlier and turn on all contraband. You'll see that a whole bunch of prisoners in this prison have got escape ropes already fabricated, right? There's loads of them. This guy is carrying an escape rope. That guy is carrying an escape rope. He's got an escape rope stashed in his cell, right? Look at it. This guy's got a cell phone,
everywhere.
A drill, a pickaxe, a bottle of pills, and an escape rope. Right?
He's the fence, mate. There's the cleaner coming in to, deliver a bit more contraband for him.
Yeah. Point is that for testing purposes, we've obviously made escape ropes very, very prominent in this prison, and we've made it as easy as possible. So you don't technically need escape ropes to go over a fence. Some of your prisoners can try and scale the fence themselves, right? Now, do you remember that your prisoners have got like properties, like whether there's they've got like these what are they called? They're stats, haven't they? Get what they're good at and what they're bad at, whether they're a tough guy, whether they're a strong guy, all that kind of thing. So,
and then some of them are like super strong, aren't they?
Yeah. So the prisoners that are very, very strong can try and climb a fence just without any assistance, and it takes them quite a while to get over. So you remember that the first guy that tried to climb it just got quite a serious beating and ended up down on the floor.
He was ripped from the top of the wall, wasn't he? Ripped down and then he was hit. He was smashed. He was police brutality when he was on the floor.
Distraction strikes were placed upon him. So fences. One exterior fence is the worst case of all. So when your prisoners are in this yard, they know that this is a very low security area because they know there's only one fence between them and freedom.
Right.
So they'll just go for it. So the second most secure example is you have a wall, right? Because nobody can just climb the wall, right? It's just a straight up.
Right, okay.
It's a straight up wall. But in this particular prison, half our prisoners have got escape ropes.
Okay.
And so coming full circle, that is basically what happened in the last demo. So you see this guy running forward with his escape rope. There it goes.
Yeah,
right?
he's got it.
There's the escape
McPherson.
rope. Right,
he's up, he's climbing, up he goes.
He's the trendsetter. Once the rope's in place, ordinary prisoners can now just climb the rope.
Look at them
and go
shimmying up the rope. That's
and you
brilliant.
get your mass escape disaster. Where you just
right.
Oh
God, they really go, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
As soon as that rope's there, they are off.
They do go for it. You get quite a lot of them on the rope at one time there.
Yeah. So even with like 2 walls around the outside, this is once someone's put those ropes in place.
Well, let's have a look at so that makes quite a difference. So if we rewind time again. So firstly, I mean, any prison, and this is a decent prison, there's loads of max security prisoners here, right? This is a good security prison, except for this exterior. I mean,
is this one of ours, or has someone else made this prison?
Test prison. One of ours made this. Gary made this one.
Oh, okay. Gary made this.
He's deliberately hobbled it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these red areas signify contraband throw zones, So you've got to go back quite a few alphas to remember what that actually is. But these are zones where people on the outside can throw contraband in.
Yeah.
So there's already a strong encouraging factor not to do this. So any decent prison is probably going to have, maybe it'll have a fence and maybe a double wall or something like that. So if you convert this to a wall like this all the way around, there we go. And I'll just turn cheats on so it happens a bit quicker.
Yeah.
So we're not stood here looking at it for ages. There we go. And here, and let's say you do something more like this. Like this is quite a common setup amongst people that know what they're doing, you know.
Yeah, fairly sensible. And then you have like rabid dogs, don't you, running around
dogs,
in that outside.
Good one, yeah. So we can go to
wild horses.
We can go to wild horses.
Dog.
Rabid. Herds of wildebeest.
Herds of wildebeest.
So you have some guards and then you can have some dog patrols and this sort of thing, right? Let's go for... What else do we need? We probably need a door. Oh, oops. Probably need an exterior door, don't we? Like this. And let's put some dog handlers in there. And some guards. Like this, you know. So, there's a suppression effect associated with guards, if you remember. And
I do.
I can visualize it as well. In fact, I can show you influence, right? So these big blue circle areas around each guard, you know, that's influence. That's essentially discouragement from trying anything, right? Because you know there's a guard nearby who's gonna have you.
Get his stick out.
He's going to get his stick out, exactly. And you know, armed guards, I think, have got the strongest suppression of all. Like they've got extra level suppression. So
it goes a bit further, doesn't it?
It goes a bit further, and it's not rendered very nicely. These black squares signify very strong suppression.
Right.
So you just, you know, you see it when you deploy armed guards in your canteen. Everything quietens down, and all the trouble stops and all that. You know, so
nobody wants to get shot when they're eating their donuts today.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna have to put donuts in the game now, aren't we?
Yeah.
We could even put some guard towers, I guess. On the outside. Let's see.
That would help.
Guard tower. They're actually technically not unlocked in this prison, so I'm cheating outrageously at this point. So, in this scenario, it's the same prison again, and even though a lot of them have got ropes, and they could technically make it over this double wall, they probably won't. Or, well, the way to describe it is they won't unless things are much, much worse, you know?
Yeah.
So you can see that the overall danger level is not especially high. These guys aren't on the edge of a riot. Their freedom need is not desperate or anything like that. These are all the factors that make them more and more desperate and make them make a run for it. But in scenarios like this, because it's two walls to get over, that makes it a lot harder. Because there are guards nearby suppressing them, that makes it harder. And all those factors put a stop to it. So in theory, you could have a single fence and a whole bunch of guard towers, you know? You could take that risk. And I'm sure some players will, because some players seem to enjoy culling their numbers every now and then, you know.
So does this stuff work with the other escape things? You know, are they likely to be? Would they maybe tunnel from a cell out into the yard and then throw a rope over the wall?
Yeah,
are we going to start seeing that happening now?
That can happen, and if they happen to be, if they're tunneling and they get to here, and then you rumble them and their escape tunnel is busted, and they pop out the ground right here, if they have a rope with them, or if they can climb fences, they'll go straight over the fence. Right?
Nice.
I can visualize that too. If you want to really go in for the AI visualization, I can show
you. Mate, there's nothing I like better than AI visualization.
AI visualization. So this is the on-foot escape map, right? And the arrows tell you what direction to run in if you're a prisoner, and you want to escape on foot, right? And all the arrows lead to the door, basically. And the colours signify the security level. So red means not at all secure. And then dark red means not particularly secure, and then orange, and then the bright green areas mean this is the most secure area of all, right? If you're on foot. So if you're in here, you've got no chance on foot because you've got to go through one door and then another door, and then you've got a long walk ahead of you and then more doors, you know? So that's a strong discouragement for the prisoners to attempt anything. But if they dig an escape tunnel and they end up here, right, then they're into an area where they're much closer to the edge. In fact, there's actually these doors actually lead to this door here. Right? I remember I put that there just as I was building it. So that tells them to try and bash their way through that door, and then they're free. Okay, right? Good stuff. So,
and that's exactly the same system that Tesla use, isn't it?
Tesla
for their autopilot on their cars, exactly the same. It's no difference.
Tesla autopilot. Yeah,
It's just red arrows on the floor.
I love it. No, that's nice. So if we go back to, if we rewind time once again, and go back to our low security scenario. So here you can see this is the climbing map. This is the same thing again, but if you're good at climbing, and you can see that all the arrows tell you to go that way. You know.
Okay. So is there an overall escape map that not just climbing, tunneling? Is there one that shows you the best routes?
No, because it depends on what you have. It depends if you have a rope. If you have a rope, then you can go over a wall, right? Regardless of whether you can climb fences or not. If you don't have a rope, then you have to go a completely different direction, you know? There isn't really a concept of a universal escape map. There are several escape maps.
I see.
And the escape map that you look at is based on what equipment you happen to have with you.
Yeah, I've got it. So if you've got a rope, you'll look at the climbing map.
Exactly. And if it's nighttime when you're digging an escape tunnel, then you use the digging map, right? And the digging map tells you what direction to dig your escape tunnels in. You know?
Yeah, okay.
All these different heat maps that tell you what direction to go in. All right.
Nice.
So there's our climbing the walls features. So this is our advanced warning to people: don't build maximum security prisons with one exterior fence and then put your prisoners in a yard and expect it to just work, you know, because they're just going to go right over that thing.
Exactly. In a post-Brexit world, it's not going to work.
Exactly. All right, let's move on, shall we?
There's more, is there?
We've got more related stuff, more stuff that is similar, is related.
Cool.
Let's have a look at this map. So this is the same map again, and it's nighttime. And as we know, prisoners like to dig escape tunnels at night. And so you can see a whole bunch of prisoners in this prison who are all sleeping, and you don't really have any way to tell who's digging an escape tunnel, right? So you have to use dogs to sniff them out, and you get other hints that way that escape tunnels are happening, and regular searches help you find the tools that they're using. So now we have a new capability, right? We have a roll call, right? See this icon down here? Roll call! Call all of your prisoners to stand outside their cells. Only available...
what time is it? It's 3:15.
It's 3 in the morning.
And you're making all... Oh, mate, you're a nasty bastard.
So this is going to piss them off, right? So if we click on this button, right, you get the roll call sound, and you see everyone gets out of bed, right, and goes and stands in their doorway like this, and they're all
stand by your door,
right? And you can see the danger level climbing because it says prisoners are angry about roll call, right? Because you've woke them up at 3 in the morning, right? And they're all like, ugh, they're all groggy faced. You know?
Yeah, what are you waking me up for?
Right now, what does that do? Right, that hasn't done anything, has it? Right, because we've had this discussion a lot over many years within Introversion. We don't want to put a button on the screen that may as well be called "Find all escape tunnels."
Yeah,
right?
yeah. There's no point, right?
You can just click on, because what's the point in that? You know, what's the point?
Well, you could charge for it, couldn't you? You could say, if you want that, pay us $10.
you get a loot crate. Your loot crate has got a roll call button that you can press when you've unlocked it with 500 prison architect points.
Yeah.
And you can get one prison architect point per day, or you can buy them for $5.99.
Or you could buy them. Yeah. Oh, mate, we've got a new business model.
Well, there's a Steam sale on at the moment, so we could reduce them to $4.99, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your job, isn't it, as a producer, to figure out ways to fuck the whole game by stupid business models that nobody wants.
Sit around figuring out how to annoy our fans.
Yeah, that does seem to be the MO of quite a lot of game companies sometimes.
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? It's
Sit
crazy.
around and dream up new ways to fuck off your best customers. Right, anyway, slight digression there. Let's have a look at
the games industry.
Oh,
we're still been out for 20 years.
Oh, God damn it. What a bunch of
We're
assholes.
last of the bedroom programmers. You'd have to go back a long way for that to make sense to anybody.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
what are you talking about? Last of the bedroom programmers. Yeah.
Oh, Mark and Chris are back.
Right, should we look at that again? Let's try that again, right? Check this out, right? I'm going to press the roll call button now, and let's see who's late to roll call, right?
Okay.
Watch closely. Look at these guys!
Well, they're sleeping, mate. They're just a bit fatigued.
Oh, really? They're sleeping,
All
are they?
right.
All right, they're sleeping, are they? They're not doing anything else. All right,
Hey,
so
what else? Yeah.
well, so you could do that. So you could. Well, let's end the roll call and just try some searches around here, right?
We know what they were doing, don't we?
That's a tell, right? It's a tell.
Yeah.
And the longer it takes them to respond to the roll call, the more of a tell it is, right? Because it means that they're coming back from the tunnel that they happen to be escaping from. You know.
I love it. They're all in handcuffs.
Yeah, they've all been rumbled, right? They're all rumbled to fuck, basically. It's like, and you have to look quite closely to see that, you know, because you don't see them come back that quickly. So in this case, they weren't very far away from their cells. You know, they're underground. If they were tunneled all the way out to here and they were almost out, it would take them a good half hour to make it all the way back to their cell once you triggered the roll call. You know,
Right.
So you can watch very closely. Now, this is probably doable on a prison this size. You know, like you could probably keep on top of that. But as we know, some prisons in Prison Architect are just massive.
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands of prisoners. So you would never be able to do that manually yourself. So we have another option. Let's rewind time again. There we go. And let's make sure that there are some guards nearby. Right, with a patrol. Right. So this is your more ideal scenario, right?
Yeah.
Because there's no point calling roll call if there aren't any guards there to notice when the prisoners are late out of their beds, right? You need guards there going, inmate 678, Reese Morris, get your lazy ass out here now! Now, goddammit, now!
Yeah.
Sorry, I lapsed into Die Hard there for a second. I don't really know why.
And Prison Architect's not set in America, everyone.
Yeah. All right, you, cell 368, on your feet, sunshine.
Where was that?
That was Cockney.
Edinburgh.
It's amazing.
Oh, that's Cockney. Was it? Oh, sorry. What is Edinburgh?
Given that I'm actually English, it's amazing how bad my English accent is, isn't it?
I thought you were Northern, mate.
You give us a Cockney, mate. Give us a Cockney. Get out of bed, you lazy bum.
All right, come there. Get out of bed, you lazy bum.
This is the West Country.
That's West Country.
We can't even do British. This is awful.
Oh dear.
So now we've got a guard patrolling up and down outside, you know, banging his nightstick along the jail doors, and so now if you trigger a roll call now, he now notices the inmates that are late, you know, that don't come, and he can only go into one cell at a time, so he doesn't immediately rumble everyone, right? So he went into the nearest cell of the person who didn't respond to roll call and immediately did a search. But he's also ordered a search of all the nearby cells. You know?
Right.
All the people that he noticed didn't make it out of their beds quick enough, got a search order, and now he's called a bunch of his buddies in to initiate a much bigger search on your behalf. So all that has happened automatically. And then by the course of that happening, they then discover the escape tunnels and the tools and the various other things that are there. You know?
Seems quite powerful then.
Very powerful, but very limited range, right? So you notice that you might not notice, but I actually waited there until the patrolling guard was outside the cells where I knew the escape tunnels were.
Okay.
But it only has a range of about 10 squares. You know, like they have to see the prisoner not get out of their bed before it actually happens. So
and the danger level goes up, right? So you can't just keep smashing that button because you're going to have a riot on your hands.
As soon as you click it, you cause a bump in the danger level, and the longer you keep it running for, the worse it gets. So, and you know, and in order for it to be really truly automatic, you know, you would need to have guards absolutely everywhere like this.
Yeah, okay, lots of guards.
You have an associated cost, you know, with
they're expensive.
doing it that way. But that is the cost of doing business in a very large prison. You know, that's what you have to take on board.
Nice.
All right, that's our roll call feature. So let's have a look. Let's move on to something.
Roll call.
Roll call.
We do it in all accents from around the world.
What was that one?
That was supposed to be Russian. The roll call.
That was actually pretty good.
Roll call. What was that? That was French.
All right, carry on. Go on. German? What about German? Should we annoy the Germans?
Roll call. That was... That was German.
You dick.
You shout a lot at German prisons.
You dick. All right, should we move on?
Yeah, let's move on.
All right. All right then. I've missed doing these videos, but I've missed doing monthly update videos. They're a light in a sea of dark, aren't they? They really
in a dark day.
Yeah. All right. Let's have a look at something. This is unrelated. All right. So we need to context switch now. Context switch. So one of the things that people often request is the ability to see change over time in their prison. In their stats, for example. So the prison grading screen, you have these things like your reoffending rate and your punishment rate. These are your amalgamated scores for your prison.
That's your snapshot, right?
Yeah, it's the nearest that we have to a score screen, And the value of your prison and the profits, these are also elements of your score. You can't really reduce your score down to a single number.
These are the things that we think prisons are about, don't we? Punishment, reform, and security.
That's right. Yeah, and the health and well-being of your prisoners, how secure the place is, how well you're dealing with reforming your prisoners, and how well you're dealing with punishing your prisoners for the crimes they've committed. And your overall reoffending rate is kind of a very indirect amalgam.
We sort of try and distill it into that, don't we?
Yeah.
Because we think reoffending is bad, don't we? We think if one thing is true, then you want to try and reduce that reoffending rate, right?
Yeah. And so people that make horrible prisons go big on punishment, and that reduces the reoffending rate. And people that want to go all libertarian go big on reform. And these are all elements of the game. So, but it's just a snapshot. So this time around, we've worked on the ability to track this over time, and we've added a new screen in up here called graphs.
Nice.
Right, so we click on that bad boy, and now we have some graphs over time. Right, so we've
got, look at that.
Yeah, check that out.
It's even called Graphs.
Graphs.
What a great title.
Graphs.
Who wrote that? Who wrote
Gary
that?
wrote that.
Gary.
Yeah.
Gary, we can see it's a graph, Gary.
Do you want it to say...
Why didn't you write line graph, Gary? Why didn't you write blue and red line graph?
Graph to show number of prisoners versus prison value over time.
Gary's on holiday. If he wasn't on holiday, I'd have him change that.
Yeah. Prison analytics. Should we call it prison analytics? Yeah. That's a more technical term, isn't it?
Or prison analytica.
Prisoner analytica. Wow.
Yeah.
That's good. That's like the name of a game or something.
Yeah. Write it down.
So we've got, this prison's been running for 26 days now. So the blue line's the value of our prison, incrementing over time, and our number of, you can see our prisoner intake. We can change these. We can see when deaths occurred. There's our death spikes. Right? 1 a day for these days. And we can also look at total deaths, right? Which is the cumulative effect of that.
Yeah, nice.
What other interesting, fascinating numbers do we have in here? We can look at incidents. So these are the things like your reform grading that we were talking about. Your overall punishment rating, it's just tricking along.
Nice.
So you can see the number changing over time. So in this case, there's not a lot of change going on here, but as you improve your prison and you see your reform rate getting better and better and better, you'll be able to see that in this graph.
Nice.
Profit going negative a lot of the time.
We don't want that, do we?
Well, that's just how it is. I'm afraid you expect to
as a producer, mate. I know that profit should be positive. That's the goal.
That's almost the definition of profit, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
You can have a negative profit, going back to the Tesla mentioning again. You can go negative as long as you've got enough money lying in the bank. If you've got enough cash reserves, you don't really care if you're a bit negative.
And you don't even need cash reserves. You just need people to have faith in you, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. You just need to convince a lot of people that what you've got is the shizzle.
Yeah, absolutely. Or will be the shizzle next year.
Are we still talking about Prison Architect right now? Or,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so.
No, I don't know either. I love Elon, man. Elon's amazing. All right. Let's have a look at something that we've been doing behind the scenes. As you know, there's been an ongoing effort to keep Prison Architect's mod support current and updated.
Yes.
With the aim of supporting our prominent modders, and there's a lot of modders now in the Steam community that make a lot of very impressive mods for Prison Architect.
It's brilliant, isn't it? Despite all of the work we put in, all of the updates, the length of time that we've done it, there are still gaps, and people find those gaps and fill them in.
Very much so. It's
cool. Yeah.
So this month we actually have been speaking to some modders directly about what do you want in the game, in the modding system, like what kind of features would be really handy. And we got a lot of feedback about some of the things that are a real pain in the bum to achieve in the modding system. Like a lot of the new features in the game, like the staff needs or the way that staff hang out in certain rooms at certain times of the day. Our staff all do that automatically and easily. whereas modded staff members that people have put in the game just don't really do it, and they need to write a load of code to make them even just do the basic behaviors. So we've done a lot of work to bring that up to spec.
Yeah.
Now, modding is always quite difficult to demonstrate because we don't make mods; we just make the modding system. But what we can do is we can load a particularly awesome mod. Let's see. Let me go to easiest ways for me to go here. One of the most prominent modders in our community is a guy called Murg. M-U-R-G-H. Murg. And he's
sounds like a Klingon.
Yeah, and he's made a whole bunch of mods. And this is his example prison. So you need update 14 for this to work. There are earlier versions of this prison. But he's using a lot of the new features that we've added in for this very update. So this is on the Steam Workshop now. So you can see we've seen the basketball league before. That's been there for a while. This one's got a load of other crazy shit. I mean, there's just stuff everywhere. We have a jeans factory in here with tailors that are making clothes. We have a coffin workshop here where they're taking wood that's been harvested and making coffins, which is a little bit ominous. And then there is an associated cemetery here where dead staff and prisoners can be buried. You can see gravestones.
It's got a real Wild West feel about it, isn't it? A cowboy rides in the town past the coffin maker.
I mean, some of the biggest things are that this is actually a genuine separated island prison, right? You see there's no road, there's no ground connection. So you might think, how on earth is anything getting to this prison? Well, the answer is Chinooks, obviously, right? There's these gigantic helicopter landing systems that have been created in our modding system, right? So you can see that the staff are all taking stuff. This is the exports area.
That is brilliant.
It's loaded up on a Chinook helipad, right? The Chinook lands, lifts it up, and then flies away, right? That is excellent. How the cock does any of this happen? I mean, in all honesty, this would be quite hard to achieve for us not using the mod system, never mind with.
So I think we make a valid point here, right? There is no requirement for you to buy any other video game other than Prison Architect because the modders can just mod PA into that game. So whatever you're enjoying at the moment.
Absolutely. I think that we should make a sort of Dota-style lane pusher, and maybe a sort of Battle Royale game as well. Maybe we need to have Prison Architect Royale,
Yeah, absolutely.
Where you get 100 prisoners all have to escape and only one of them's allowed out alive. I mean, this one's got metro stations, right? For different because it's not connected. This is how people arrive and leave. Parole members come through this particular station, and visitors arrive here. So you can see it's like an underground station where they just come out and arrive at the prison. And there's an exit, I think, all the way over here. Like this is the exit to the prison. It's just
brilliant.
It's really cool stuff, It's just completely
Freedom Station.
Just mental amounts of new content everywhere. You look in things like the objects list, and you just see the sheer number of game objects that have been added to the game through mods. Wow, so not all of this is made by Merg. A lot of this is made by Merg, but this is kind of a combi pack as well. So he sort of sucked up a lot of other mods that other people have made and packaged it all together into one giant mod. Just adding just reams and reams of new content to the game.
Brilliant.
Yeah, all possible in our new. It's an ongoing process, isn't it? The ongoing process of keeping our mod system up to speed.
Leander's modding system.
Yeah, it's
just
funny.
Name check Leander because he does all that.
It's pretty much his world. Yeah, it started out as a little ability to put graphics updates into the game, and it's ended up insane. I mean, you can to wrap up. There's some crazy shit in the. If you look in the staff list, there's a whole bunch of like ridiculous cheat codes. Like you remember SimCity and the cheat codes where you could get Martians to attack or hurricanes to land and stuff. We've always shied away from that because we've always thought, that's not serious enough. That's all. We're serious.
We're far too serious. This is a serious social simulation.
Exactly. So here we have
prison's not a joke.
Here we have buttons there where we can give every prisoner an assault rifle, for example. Give everyone assault rifles. There we go.
Battle Royale.
And now we can say there's an immediate riot button around here somewhere. Let's see. Shank Apocalypse? No. Prison localized escape attempts or localized destruction. Oh, prison riot. Here we go. Localized riot. That's the one that I was looking for. Right. So now I've just triggered a riot from every prisoner, and they're all armed with assault rifles. And what game are we even playing at this point? Quite frankly, it's like a real-time strategy game at this point, where you just have to conquer the map. The map's been taken by armed prisoners. The sound effects of all those guns going off. It's just ridiculous. And that's basically the power of modding, isn't it? It's just stuff that we would never put in the game, but is inherently fun to play with sometimes.
Yeah,
it's completely crazy shit. There we go. That is our update 14 feature list.
And that is a big meal. Eating all that down, you're gonna need a massive poo after that. Right.
What?
I'm just wrapping up, mate.
That's brilliant.
I'm wrapping up.
That's your best wrap up ever. Carry on.
So thank you for watching. What did I want to say? Steam have got now developer homepages. So follow us on that developer homepage to learn about new projects and new PA updates. You can subscribe to our mailing list, and we will mail you about updates. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just subscribe to stuff so that you know what we're doing. You want to. And we didn't tell anyone about our privacy policy update, so you don't need to worry even about GDPR rubbish.
Thank God.
Okay, that is it. If your friends haven't bought Prison Architect, buy it now because it's discounted on Steam, and we will see you again soon.
See you soon.